You've seen this number. It's flashed on the news, debated by politicians, and used as definitive proof that the entire country is a financial train wreck just waiting to go off the rails. $34 trillion. It's an amount so astronomical, so completely detached from any human scale, that it's almost meaningless. It feels like the country has maxed out a credit card the size of a planet. So it begs the question, a question that seems almost too simple to ask out loud. If the debt is this high, why hasn't everything just collapsed? Why can the government keep spending money? Why are we all still here? Well, here's the secret they don't tell you on the news. It's because you, me, and almost everyone else has been taught to think about the national debt all wrong. And in the next few minutes, we're going to fix that. We're going to show you how to see it like an economist. First things first, we need to completely erase one idea from our heads. The national debt is not, and I repeat, is not like your personal credit card debt. When you or I go into debt, it's almost always because we spent more than we earned. We have a finite amount of time to pay it back, and if we don't, we go broke. The story ends. But a country, especially one with an economy the size of the United States, operates on a completely different set of rules. When the U.S. government needs to borrow money, it doesn't just swipe a visa. It issues something far more powerful: bonds. A U.S. Treasury bond is basically a formal IOU. An investor, and that investor could be you through a retirement fund, your bank, or even the government of another country, lends money to the U.S. government. In return, the government promises to pay that money back on a specific future date, with a little extra in interest. And because the U.S. has never, ever failed to pay its debts, these bonds are considered the safest investment on planet Earth. So that terrifying $34 trillion number, it's just the total sum of all these IOUs held by investors around the world who trust America to pay its bills. Okay, so that explains what it is. But why does the government need to borrow in the first place? Is it really just for ridiculous, wasteful projects we hear about on the news? Well, sometimes. But mostly, there are crucial strategic reasons. Reason one, to invest in future growth. This is the most important one. Just like a smart company takes out a loan to build a new, more efficient factory, a government borrows to build things that will make the whole economy more productive. We're talking about new roads, better airports, high-speed internet in rural areas, or funding for the kind of scientific research that leads to world-changing inventions. These are investments that can grow the entire economy, which in turn leads to more prosperity and more tax revenue down the line. Reason two, to handle major crises. Think about it. When a once-in-a-century pandemic hits, or a massive hurricane devastates a coastline, or the country has to fight a war, these events require enormous, immediate spending that you simply can't cover with the regular annual budget. Borrowing is the financial shock absorber that allows a country to navigate these catastrophic events without completely shutting down. And reason three, believe it or not, they borrow to pay off old debt. Sounds a bit irresponsible, I know, but it's actually smart. It's just like refinancing your mortgage. If interest rates are lower today than they were 10 years ago, the government can issue new bonds at that cheaper rate to pay off the old bonds that had higher interest. It's just good financial management. This brings us to the part where most people get it really wrong. There's this persistent myth, this political talking point, that China owns all our debt and can pull the plug on us at any moment. So let's look at the real numbers. The vast, overwhelming majority of the national debt is actually owed to ourselves, to Americans. It's held by U.S. citizens in their savings, by American pension funds managing your retirement, by U.S. banks, and even by different parts of the U.S. government itself. For instance, the Social Security program invests its surplus cash in these ultra-safe treasury bonds. So when the government pays interest on that portion of the debt, it's literally paying itself. The rest is owned by foreign entities. And who is the single biggest foreign holder? Japan, followed by the UK, Belgium, and others. China? China holds less than 3% of the total U.S. national debt. So the idea that one single country has us in a financial headlock and can call in the debt is frankly a complete fantasy.